Hello, we are the Nationalist. Today we are here to teach you nationalism terms like nationalism, national sovereignty and pan-nationalism, and what every one of these words mean. Let us start our presentation.
Nationalism. The word itself can be translated into Arabic word قومية. Nationalism can be defined as ideology that based on that the person loyalty to the nation have to be higher than any individual or group interest. The word nationalism appeared for the first time in 1409 at Leipzig University, and then appeared again during the 17th century, and it was also used during the French Revolution in the 18th century. The word appeared again in 19th century, and it was used in many occasions. The word nationalism was used in Egypt directly after the First World War, with the nationalist movement that was led by Saad Zaghloul and his partners in 1918.
Pan-nationalism is a form of nationalism distinguished by being associated with a claimed national territory, which doesn't correspond to existing political boundaries. It often defines the nation as a cluster of a closely related ethnic or cultural groups. It shared the general nationalist premises that is the nation a fundamental unit of human social life, and that is the only legitimate basis for the state. The historical events of pan-nationalism emerged out of 19th century European nationalism, beginning with the pan-Slavism movement, which developed among various Slavic nations within the Austro-Hungarian and Turkish empires. The Slavs as a fundamentally single people, sharing the same cultural heritage. This was later followed by pan-German thought, which assumed somewhat similar view, with a goal of German unification where the Greater Germany can be created, including Australians and other German speakers. These pan-nationalistic movements embraced the European intellectual discourses on race, particularly those about preservation of the Eurasian unit. After that, it led pan-Arabism, also called Arabism or Arab nationalism, nationalist nation of culture and political unity among Arab countries. Its origins lie in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when increased literacy led to culture and literary renaissance, known as النهضة or النهضة الأبدية among Arabs of the Middle East. This contributed to political agitation and led to the independence of the most Arab state from the Ottoman Empire 1918 and from the European powers by the middle 20th century. An important event was the founding in 1943 of the Al-Ba'ath Party by pan-Arabist thinkers Michael al-Aflaq and Salah ad-Din Bitar, which formed branches in several countries and became the ruling party in Syria and Iraq. Another important event was the founding of Arab League in 1945, an experiment in political union between two Arab countries, Egypt and Syria, in the form of United Arab Republic 1958, was short-lived. Pan-Arabism's most charismatic and effective proponent was Egypt's Gamal Abdel Nasser, after whom it reached its peak in both political and social expression. But after Nasser's death, disappointment in Arabism and inability to effectuate lasting prosperity in the Arab world led to a rise in Islamism as an alternative. Despite the decline in enthusiasm for pan-Arabist policies, Syria's Al-Hafiz al-Assad, Iraq's Saddam Hussein, and Libya's Muammar al-Gaddafi were among those who tried to assume the mantle of Arab leadership after Nasser. For more on the history and integration among Arab countries.
The national sovereignty is the supreme power, especially over a body of politics, the freedom from external control or controlling influence of another country. In the international law, sovereignty state is one of the centralized government has authority over the parliament population within the defined territory and determining the relation with other sovereign states. So, to determine the fate of the country by herself, not by defining by any other country or not subjecting to any other sovereign states. So the sovereignty states have the right to make treaties and diplomatic relation with any another sovereign states. The etymology of the word came from the Vernacular Latins superanus, which mean itself derived from the Latin word super over, which means the chief or the ruler. Its spelling, which varied from the word's first appearance in English and which in the 14th century was influenced by the English reign. In 16th century, Franz Jean Bonning used the new concept of the sovereignty to bolster the empowerment of the French king over the Republican Federation lords, facing the traditional from feudalism to nationalism. The thinker who did the most to provide the term with its modern meaning was the English philosopher Thomas Hobbes, who argued that in every true state some person or body of person must have the ultimate and absolute authority to declare the law. To divide this authority he held was essential to destroy the unity of the state. The current notion of the state sovereignty contains four aspects consisting of the territory, population, authority, and recognition. Domestic sovereignty, the actual power over the state exercised by authority, organization within the state. Independent sovereignty, actual control of movement across the state's border, assuming the border exists. International legal sovereignty, formal recognition by other sovereignty states. Westphalian sovereignty, the lack of authority over states other than the domestic authority. Often the four aspects are to.
And that was all about the national terms. We wish that you enjoyed our presentation. Thank you for watching.